Welcome everybody to Turtle Beach and to Grumpy Old Men with Mr. Steve Ross.
Good morning. Was I supposed to take it? Thank you for joining us. We're very pleased to see you here. This is my show apparently today. So Tim, how are things on Turtle Beach this week?
Gee, you're hopeless.
Why do I put in any effort at all?
Whenever we record, you always are darker.
Yeah,
We've got the same light on us.
Yeah,
you absorb.
I do. I am ready. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I ride a motorcycle. You ride in a car. You are paler
Excuse
than
me.
I
am on my motorcycle.
You are. That's true. I have no explanation for it, but it's certainly true. He struggled manfully for 10 minutes to try to get some light over here, and it was not successful.
You need your own special light.
I do. Yes. I need a whole crew. Air, makeup, wardrobe. I need the whole nine
This is
yards.
why you didn't make it in Hollywood.
One of the reasons. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so lots to talk about. Thank you very much for joining in. You touched the table.
We are less than a minute into the show.
So we do this every week. We sort of rant about nothing in particular, but we cover just about everything. Mm-hmm. And if you do have any questions about the universe that you're confused about, then Steve and I will very probably have at least an opinion on the matter. Mm-hmm. So
undoubtedly.
We should mention up front that you are, or probably were, an author.
Yeah, I think it's okay to use the past tense. Yeah.
And you penned 6 books in the style of the Old Testament, collections of stories. True or maybe not so.
No, there are books of fiction. That's true. I wrote a novelette called Bangkok Buckaroo, which is a cowboy book set in Bangkok on Soy Cowboy. So yeah, that's flat out fiction. But for the most part, what I studied in graduate school was creative nonfiction. So I write a lot of memoir. I write about Steve Ross and the stuff that happens to Steve Ross and his reaction to the stuff that happens to Steve Ross. Thank you for bringing it up. Those 5 books are available on Amazon. Typically, he'll wait for the end of the broadcast to throw me a commercial, but I appreciate it. While there's still 10 people watching, I appreciate it at the top of the show.
Don't say that. You are included in the description.
Oh, right. Thank you.
And a link to your wretched books. If you'd like to buy them, if you'd like to find out about what it was like for sort of a slightly insecure foreigner living in Phuket in the 1990s and 2000s.
Yes.
This is the book you need.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that plug. I appreciate that. Yes.
Well,
and Tim has some rental properties on Turtle Beach if you want to stay in a nice bespoke beach house. Look up Beach House Thailand.
One of them is next door to you.
Yes, one is next door to Steve, and it's very convenient because I've run out of space on my own porch.
The dumping ground for Steve.
Yeah, all of my art projects get pushed over the fence into the rental property.
I noticed one just magically appeared yesterday.
Yeah. I don't know where else to put it.
It's okay. We put it out the front for our garbage collection.
I've offered it. It's a mushroom. What I've discovered is everybody wants a turtle. It's Turtle Beach. Everybody is very happy to get a turtle. I tried a crocodile. Nobody wanted that. I've made a couple mushrooms just because they're easy, and nobody wants the mushrooms. But I know a guy on Phuket who sells mushrooms. Brendan. He's got the Fruiting Body podcast.
Brendan Williams.
Yes. He has the Fruiting Body podcast. Fruiting Body is the part of a mushroom we pick and eat. And he sells therapeutic mushrooms. So I've offered it to him. He has not responded yet, but I can't think of anybody else who might want a mushroom made out of cigarette lighters.
Now you said that everybody wants a turtle because it's Turtle Beach, but it's only Turtle Beach in your mind.
So you all only exist in my mind.
Sure. So why do they all want a turtle if it's just really well, I suppose it's got the big turtle in the middle of the town.
Well, there's probably 10 murals and statues around town. The turtle is very strongly associated with this place in the minds of the natives. No, in Thai they don't call it Ha Tao, which would be Turtle Beach.
Keep talking, I'm adjusting the fan.
All right. they call it Thai Muang, end of the tin mine. We Farang call it Turtle Beach because saying Muang is beyond the capabilities of both Farang. And but these people do associate very strongly the turtle with their home, and they're all very proud of this place. There's a real sense of hometown here. It's Mayberry by the sea. So yeah, people are very. I had another
Mayberry.
Andy
Griffiths.
Yes. Yeah, good for you. Mayberry. Yeah. That show was huge in my childhood because I didn't have a father. So I idolized Andy Griffith and the relationship between Andy and Opie. I lived in Mayberry in my head for many years as a child. And this place is very much like that. They're very still, they still have pride for the place they live. And the turtle is the symbol of this place. So this week I had another business tentatively and shyly put their name on the list of people who are waiting for turtles, a veterinary clinic up by the Lotus up there.
On that side of the road or that side of the road?
That side of the road.
Okay, that's our vet.
Yeah. So you'll be able to see a turtle. As far as I know, it's the only vet, isn't it? I think.
No, there's a vet. There's one on both sides of the road.
Oh, oh, there you go.
So they'll be asking for one as soon as that one gets it.
Yeah.
Because, well, turtles are pets. Or you've got a pet turtle.
I have a pet turtle, yeah.
And so there's a very, very good vet. In fact, veterinary in Thailand is quite interesting. You may notice that Thais generally, when it comes to like domestic animals, have a rather sort of strange attitude towards them, different from the West.
Very different. I don't know, strange, but different, yes. Yes.
And I mean, they love them, but they sort of, it's tough love in many ways. They can sort of have a bit of a bit like a parent might hit a kid. It's sort of a whack, but it's not very heavy.
Well, yeah, they hit their kids too.
But the dogs sort of get that. They get a bit of a gentle, loving whack. Because I'm always telling somebody in our house, don't hit the dog. No. But it's not done out of malice. It's done out of sort of just a tough love. I think Thais and perhaps, excuse me, all Asians. I don't know. I have experience of only this place. But I think they don't anthropomorphize their pets. They don't treat them like little human beings. You know, a person came to visit, a very sweet person came to visit, and she happened to have 11 rescue dogs. And she had brought these dogs from another third world country to Thailand. And she had jumped through enormous hoops and paid enormous money to bring 11 animals into this country. And Chamnan, the guy I hire, my hired man, when he heard this, Man Friday,
he couldn't grok it. He could not wrap his head around the idea of bringing stray dogs into a country that's overrun with stray dogs. And I'm not faulting her for what she did. I think it's a very sweet gesture. I think it's a very loving, kind gesture that's undoubtedly going to earn her a seat at the right hand of God in heaven. But Thai people don't, I think that way. They are conscious of the fact that these are animals and we keep them because we use them. They have a purpose. They protect the house in the case of dogs. And in the case
cats?
Yeah, I don't know.
Sure. Well, Thais seem to love cats
they do, don't
as
they?
much as dogs.
Yeah, they do, don't they? I'm not sure. Well, catching rodents, perhaps.
Yeah,
but they don't treat them like people. I'm sorry. Go on.
I think keeping pet animals as pets is becoming more popular. We're starting to see more pet shops. We're starting to see costumes online for pets and all that sort of palaver, and people taking dogs on leashes for walks and
cats. There's a lady in town. Big fuzzy cat, whatever you call it, what's the word for
Persian?
A Persian, yeah. Big hairy cat. She walks it up and down the main street on a leash, yeah.
That's a horse, Steve.
It's tiny little Shetland pony.
Yes. Are you allowed to call them Persian cats anymore? I thought that might get us in trouble. Anyway.
They're Siamese cats, and we don't
I've got two Siamese cats.
You do.
Because they were born in Siam.
nah, this place hasn't been Siam since what, 39,
32?
1939. And it never was Siam. You know, Siam was a
God, here we go.
derogatory Chinese term.
Was it?
Yes, these people have never called themselves Siamese. Siam was what the Chinese called this place, and it was Chinese
You
pilots.
know they're already checking on Google.
Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead. There were Chinese pilots who brought the first European ships, the Portuguese, I think, into up the Chao Phraya to Bangkok, and so the word Siam stuck in English. But no, Thai people have never called their home Siam.
What did it mean in Chinese?
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, hard to complain. You come up the Chao Phraya River and you find this delta with fertile soil and flat land.
Yeah.
We could build a city here.
Yeah.
And then
it was
flood.
a swamp. Yeah, it was
Yes.
a mosquito-infested swamp. We can build a city here because we're protected from the Burmese by all this water. But that's the first scene in The King and I. They're coming up the Chao Phraya on the boat, and the captain, first line in The King and I, "That's Bangkok, son!" That's my terrible British sea captain accent. I'm sorry.
What's the first song they sing?
Oh. Wow, I don't remember.
Anna and Louis sing the song.
I don't remember.
And it's because they're worried and they're afraid. And so
Whenever I feel afraid, I hold my head erect.
I whistle a happy tune.
I whistle a happy tune. And
well done.
I'll be damned. I thought that came later in the show.
So when you feel scared and afraid, Steve, just
whistle.
Whenever I feel afraid, I
Now.
hold my head.
Erect. Yes.
It's the only time we get to use the term these days.
Because it rhymes with suspect.
Yes, of course. So there you go. We're on to Hollywood musicals
Hollywood
already.
music took us 3 minutes, didn't it? There's no biz, not showbiz.
So here's something that I sort of quelled your enthusiasm last week when you started erring on this particular issue. So I thought we'll flesh it out this week.
Okay. Hit me.
And I wrote here, starting to question about self-imposed solitude on Turtle Beach, because in many ways you came here and you shunned the rest of the world.
Yes.
Except for spending half your day online
And weirdly you. I honest to God, I don't know how that happened.
What happened? Weirdly me.
That I have a semi-normal friend relationship with another PHANG. Because I did very intentionally, as I have done most of my life, I did very intentionally engineer a life with no contact, or as little contact with other people as I could. I live alone. I don't visit people. I don't invite people to my house anymore.
You sort of have become a little bit of a hermit.
Yeah, Rusi in Thai, if you want to know hermit in Thai.
Yeah.
And yes, I had said last week, and so yeah, I don't know how in the world this happened, but I said last week that after 3 years, I'm thinking perhaps that is not the healthiest way to live, and that I'm going to, among the projects that I have launched at this phase, this retirement phase of my life. Should I shut that door?
No,
good
luck.
Should they just stop making coffee?
That's a much better idea.
At any rate, I thought I'm going to try to do something. I'm going to get out of my comfort zone. The first thing any psychotherapist will tell you is get out of your comfort zone, do something that scares you. Confront your fear, own your fear. And I'm not sure in my case that it's fear. My social anxiety, I think, is more...
This guy just wants to be on camera.
He does. He's photobombing us. Video bombing? Is it video bombing if you do it this way? At any rate, yes, I said I'm going to push myself to try to interact more with people. You know,
but you are a gregarious sort of person.
I know. It's weird. I'm complex, man. I'm deep. There's an Aussie guy here named Rob. Wonderful guy, delightful guy. And he met me when he first came. I don't know if he watches, but
Rob's got the most gorgeous little dog.
I have seen that. Yes,
beautiful
he's
dog.
Got a gorgeous little dog.
Yes.
And he said to me, he's been here I think a couple of years now, but he had met me when he first came, and he had come over to the house and had some coffee, and then the next time he came over, he said, you haven't come near me since I got here, mate. And I thought, well, I don't get near anybody. Why are you special? Why should I, come to your house and have coffee, Rob? Because I just don't. I don't do that stuff. And people have told me my whole life that that's not healthy. I'm an only child of a single parent, so I grew up basically entertaining myself and with my own company. I'm very comfortable in my own company. But, maybe it's time to broaden my horizons and see what it's like to live like other people live.
Is it because when you came here, you did have in your mind that you were only going to survive one year?
I was certain.
And so you sort of decided, well, I'm not going to make any new acquaintances or start any new hobbies, which you did.
Yeah.
Because I'm only going to... How realistic was it in your mind that you were only going to survive 1 year?
Absolutely. I was certain for 20 years. I had met, to bring you, dear viewer, up to date, in 2003, right, yeah, settle in, order a coffee, have a pastry. In 2003, I went through 2001 through 2003, it took a long time to get divorced. Went through a terrible, terrible divorce, and it was...
Still going.
It was it's still going on. And so one night I couldn't sleep. I've always struggled with insomnia, and I couldn't sleep. And I sat, and the urge to run away was terribly strong through this whole process. The urge to just buy a ticket back to Thailand, get the hell out of Iowa and get away from this mess was really, really strong. And the Ross men have a history of running away. My father ran away, his father ran away. And that's why my father was an only child, why I'm an only child, and his father was an only child. 3 generations of only children.
And you ran away.
Because dad always runs away as soon as the kids arrive. And I wanted to run away, and I was sitting on the edge of my bed at 3 a.m., and I was afraid of what I would do if I stayed awake another night. And I looked up at the ceiling, and I don't believe in God, but I said to God, look.
Whoa. Can I just unpack that last sentence?
Sure.
I don't believe in God, but I said to God.
Yeah.
Explain.
I talk to God all the time. He's my imaginary friend. No, I do. I do believe. I do have some sense of spiritualism. I'm not sure that all of this is possible as the result of atoms bouncing off other atoms in random patterns through eternity. The idea that there's a design behind this, a plan behind this, a creator behind this, I can get behind that idea.
Because you're an author.
No. Because I spend a lot of time alone thinking about this shit. But I will speak to God, usually to criticize his decisions and his actions. And on this occasion, I said, whoever's listening, I'll stay here. I won't run away. I'll stay here and live this horrible life until the kids are grown. But at the end of it, I want 1 year in Thailand. I want 1 year on a beach in southern Thailand, and I'll be satisfied. I'll do 20 years of this penance for my own bad decisions if I get 1 year in Thailand at the end of that. And as soon as I made that promise, I fell asleep. And I thought, I woke up in the morning and I thought, shit, dude, you've made a commitment. You have to stay here now, and at the end of it, you'll get 1 year, and you have to be okay with that. That has to satisfy you because you promised whoever that you would be okay with that. And so for 20 years, I lived on that supposition that I would get 1 year because I made that promise. And when I came, I was absolutely certain everything was so enjoyable, everything was so great that I thought, yeah, this is going to last 1 year. Whatever, I wasn't sure I was going to die per se, but I thought something might happen that I would have to leave, right?
So now 3 years down the track.
Yeah,
Over 3 years.
I'm surprised as hell. And pleased as hell. I'm happy that nothing has happened so far. But I also understand philosophically, at least, that it could end at any time. There's a lot of hoops to jump through to stay in Thailand. And my government is talking about ending my pension. And if that happens, then who knows? Steve might have to go back to the United States and get back in that cubicle again and manage some health information records. But at any rate, yeah,
Would
I
that
have
job
to
be open to you if you went
No,
back?
not at all.
No?
No. AI or voice recognition software has completely destroyed the medical transcription industry. I only had a job to retirement because there were old doctors who didn't want to learn how to use voice recognition technology and still wanted a human being on the other end of the microphone so that they didn't have to read the records before they signed them. These are legal documents and they're responsible for everything in that record. If there's a mistake in that record, they've signed it. And that's their only protection in court when they're sued, which every American physician will be sued a dozen times in his career, his or her career. So, but if they have to read every word of every report they've dictated before they sign it, that's a whole day, right? So they prefer to have a human being they can trust rather than the computer that makes a lot of mistakes. But the computer is way cheaper than Steve, and so hospitals are moving inexorably toward using voice recognition software.
But
at any rate, no, the job is no longer there. That
Okay.
would not be. I wouldn't have anything to go back to in the States except the sofa in my mom's spare room.
So,
No.
well, we do have.
Depressed yet?
We've got a lean-to at the back of our house.
Thank you. Yeah.
That we can put you in there.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So far,
Daisy will share
that's
her
my
food.
best offer. Thank you.
Sure.
That's Plan B.
Okay, so what are you doing to sort of widen your circle at the moment? You are doing something intentionally, or you're just hoping that people are going to come walking through the door?
No. Well, so far, it's only been a week, but so far, two things. First, when people walk through the door, like when you walk through the door, or my friend John Williams came to visit with his friend Michael this weekend, I remind myself this is a good thing. And that I have no pressing appointments. I don't need to. The fact that I'm gluing lighters onto a turtle right now, and I'm really focused on this task, and this person has come to talk to me, isn't an interruption of anything important. I can put down the glue and talk to them for an hour, make them coffee, and then an hour later come back. Those lighters aren't going anywhere. The tube of glue isn't going anywhere.
Do you realize that you have become the world's leading expert in gluing
Yes.
old cigarette lighters onto plastic? Do
Oh,
you
yeah.
realize that?
Oh, of course,
You
yes.
could make a YouTube video about that.
Well, I have. The channel is called Beachcombing on Turtle Beach. I tell people, and it's true, I think, I can show you something you have never seen before in your life and you will never see again anywhere else. I have now 50,000 used cigarette lighters in my backyard.
That number seems to get inflated every time I speak to you.
Well, yes, because people come. I've bought 2,500 lighters this week at a
dear.
baht each. 2,500 baht on garbage. Yes, it gets bigger. My bins are full in the backyard. I have to buy a second rank of plastic bins to put on top. These are, big 50-gallon tubs.
You're
full
going to
of
become
lighters.
a tourist attraction.
Well,
Come and visit the old American guy with the tubs of cigarette lighters in his backyard.
Lung Fai Chak, they call me. And this is, I want to ask the Brain Trust. Someone told me this week, you can't be Lung Fai Chak. Lung means uncle, but only in the case of someone who has previously been a monk. A man who has been a monk and left the monkhood is called Lung, and yes, the translation is uncle. But Steve, you have to be, I forget the other uncle, the other two uncles. But at any rate, is that true? Because they do, I swear to God, these people call me Lung Fai Chak, Uncle Cigarette Lighter. Somebody out there, somebody who knows Thai, inform me, please. But yeah, that you won't see that, I'm sure. And believe me, I have scoured the internet looking for anybody else to do this because I don't want to do what anybody else is doing. What's your name?
You have sort of refined your process a bit because you were getting water egress, and it was causing your creations to
Yes.
collapse in a
Yeah.
sort of a soggy mess.
Who knew paper mache would dissolve in a monsoon?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm adding cement, what we call Portland cement in the United States. Adding cement to the mix.
But it does
and-
make your creations much heavier.
Well, yes, a little bit heavier. It's called papercrete. So because the binding agent is paper or cellulose, it is lighter than normal concrete where you would use sand.
Right.
as the binding agent. But yes, it is heavier than merely paper mache, but it does stand up to the elements better. You know, the MAGA turtle, we put him out there maybe 3 weeks ago, and he is surviving beautifully through the monsoon. I've repaired a couple turtles. I took the crocodile off the street because the crocodile is beyond repair. But yeah, the cement and a new lacquer. I was using polyurethane. Any craftsman out there will go, Steve, why were you putting polyurethane in the sun? UV destroys polyurethane. Yeah, now I know. So I found another product which is used to seal brickwork. Beautiful, glossy, shiny coat, absolutely impervious to water. Couple coats of enamel paint and a coat of that stuff and concrete underneath. And
you see, you turned on today and didn't think that you needed to know the engineering of putting cigarette lighters onto paper mache, but now you know.
Now you
I'm
know.
just going to keep on talking so you don't.
Yeah, try and match that, Bangkok Pat.
Don't start. You got this thing
No,
about...
I love Pat. I love Pat.
You love creating wars with other YouTubers.
No, but I am contentious. Yeah, I like a spirited debate with someone who knows the rules of debate. Someone who goes immediately to the ad hominem attack. Someone who says, oh, Steve Ross is a typical Seppo loudmouth. No, I ain't typical of anything, dude. I am different from everybody you've ever met in your life. Don't call me typical. Call me Seppo. I don't give a shit. Call me Yank. I don't give a shit. Call me a loudmouth, opinionated, obstreperous prick. I don't mind, but I am not typical.
I'm sure you're all just bursting to go and visit Steve's house and call him names.
But I don't want to do what somebody else is doing. And Pearlie Ann Friedman is making constructions from lighters she takes off the beach on Koh Lanta, and she lights them up with LED lights inside. So I won't ever light up any of my structures.
Oh, that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, it is. Her stuff is beautiful.
Oh, I'm going to go and
have
have a talk to her.
Pearlie Ann Friedman. She's on YouTube. She's on the web. She makes beautiful stuff. She's a retired physician from Canada. She lives on Koh Lanta, and her neighbors bring her lighters off the beach. She doesn't pay for them as I do. She cleans them herself. But I couldn't clean 50,000 lighters.
No.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't want to do what someone else is doing. So this is, I think, as far as I can tell, absolutely unique in the world.
So now that you have passed your way
Kidney
beyond
stone?
3 years,
Yeah.
I was speaking of kidney stones and other ailments that beset the aged and the more mature.
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to sort of cope with this getting older now that you have passed that 1 year from what you were 64 at the time or 65, and now you're approaching the big 70?
Well, 68 this year, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, what are you going to do as you sort of get older and a little bit frail and a little bit...
I ain't old. Look at his face. There is not a line on this face. Look at this. Oh.
Don't get too close to the camera.
Don't scrunch.
No.
Yeah, it's a perfectly logical question. The kind of question that any normal man would ask himself at this point in life doesn't occur to me all day long.
You're just going to let it happen.
Yeah, well, I have been told. I've said this before many times, and our regular viewers are sick of hearing it. But any insurance actuarial will tell you Steve's going to die in his third heart attack. It's going to be sudden. It's going to be very painful, but it's going to be very brief, like that. That the odds are overwhelming that is how I will die.
Are you playing with the cable?
God, a lot of rules in this place, man.
I make the rules.
Yeah, I'm an anarchist. I don't like rules.
Yes.
But yeah, I'll stop. Don't touch the table. Don't touch the cables. Can I touch myself?
No.
At any rate, yeah, it's a perfectly logical question for which I have no answer.
Okay.
I just cross my fingers, and every day I seem to wake up healthier than I was when I went to sleep.
I mean, you're doing fine.
Yeah.
Considering your lifestyle, you are doing very, very well.
Yeah, I've lost 35 pounds.
Wow.
The first year I was here, I lost 35 pounds. I didn't change anything. I bought a bicycle.
35 pounds. That's about 14 or 15 kilos.
It's a stone and 4 hands. I don't know, but it's yeah. I feel better than when I got here. My God, I look better. If you go back and look at that Irish Times interview, it's got 188,000 views
and counting.
And counting. I look like Jabba the
He's coming back for another go, isn't he?
Next week. We were supposed to do it yesterday, but he was given a summer cottage on a lake, and he and his wife have pissed off to go hang out on the lake.
How rude.
So, yeah, how rude. So yeah,
I've offered him a beach house next time he comes to Thailand.
Well, I think that's a wonderful thing. I'd like to meet him again. We've met a few times.
He's a good man, Pete.
Yeah. So at any rate,
he does like stirring the pot a little bit.
Well, this is how you get 188,000 views.
Sure.
But at any rate, to answer your question, to bring the focus back on me, I don't have a good, sensible, thought out plan for the end times. At the moment, like I said, I feel better every day when I wake up, and I'm just going to keep clipping along as long as that non-existent imaginary friend up there allows me to.
So, I mean, do you want to give us any instructions if that day ever happens that we need to attend to things? Do you want us to play a particular piece of music, maybe whistle a happy tune whilst you're being sort of fed into the crematorium?
The song has to be Go Jim Dandy by Black Oak, Arkansas. The southern rock band Black Oak, Arkansas, and their one hit was Go Jim Dandy. And I love that song.
Okay.
And I love that band. And
right.
that I would like that to be played. I once owned a deed to 1 square inch of the actual town in Arkansas called Black Oak, Arkansas. This is a marketing scheme for this band. They actually bought a big piece of land and they divvied the plot up into 1 square inch pieces, and they put a deed in every record album that you would own 1 square inch of Black Oak, Arkansas. And I had that for years and years and years. I kept that piece of paper forever.
Well, that land value would have gone up. You could cash that in.
One would assume, yes. I don't know at all, but that along the way, among the many, many moves and jettisons of stuff in my life, that went away. But otherwise, I joke with Chamnan. I tell him, this is my hired man. I tell him, when I die, Chamnan, these 50,000 cigarette lighters are yours. And he says, Mao. He's absolutely serious. No, he doesn't want anything to do with it. Happily, everything in my house, the only things I own of value are an old desktop computer and a fairly nice 50-gallon aquarium with the turtle in it. Other than that, everything in my house is trash. I mean, I rent my motorcycle. I own that electric trike, but it's not really, after a year, it's kind of falling apart. It's not really worth anything.
Is it really?
Well, it's built for little Chinese people, and I'm a big fat American. So it now, when I ride it, it goes.
Maybe you need to tighten the bolts.
I have taken it, yes, in the year I've owned it, I have taken it to the Usomro twice, and he has done that. He has tightened the bolts, and he's like, there will come a time when the wheel is pointing straight forward, but the yoke, the handlebars are like turned about 10 degrees, 15 degrees. And yeah, he'll straighten all that out and straighten the mirrors out for me and stuff. But it's just a cheap piece of aluminum and plastic that was never meant to carry this weight.
20,000 baht or something
30.
like that? 30,000 baht.
I paid 30,000,
so
yeah.
$1,000.
Yeah.
Okay. Well back.
But at any rate, my point is, there's really, when I die, the body can go to a crematorium and be ashes, and they can throw that in the ocean or whatever they want to do. I went through a period before I left the States where I got rid of not only everything I owned, but everything my mother owned. And I was in a frenzy.
Did she know anything about it?
Yes, she did, and it was very hard for her. But I was not going to go away, and there's no one else to deal with it. I'm an only child. So when, God forbid, knock on wood, she were to pass, there would be this whole house full of her entire life's collections, and she's a collector, that who would be there to deal with that? I would have to come back from Thailand and spend months dealing with this. So I was in this mind of jettisoning things, and I did. I stripped everything down. I came here with an old laptop computer and a bag full of t-shirts, only to find that they sell computers and t-shirts here in Thailand.
Who would have thought?
Who'd have thunk? I could have come here empty-handed. But yeah, there's really nothing. I'm ready. I'm ready to go. There's nothing there to deal with.
So let's move on to another topic and have a talk about...
Other than Steve Ross?
Yes, there
No,
are
I'm
other
leaving.
topics. Yeah, you can go now and we'll just talk together.
You see why it's hard for me to have friends? You see why?
God. So let's have a talk about foreigners living in Thailand and their interaction with local politics. Now, it's an interesting phenomenon where anytime I talk about politics on my channel, because I'm sort of news oriented.
You do every day. Yes.
Yeah, it's sort of news. I'll just click that off. Software opening up. So people say, why are you talking about politics? You're a foreigner. Saying, well, if foreigners do come to Thailand to report the news about what's happening with Thailand, including its politics, and there's always plenty of colour and action happening in Thai politics, so it is of interest to the rest of the world. And so you get people like Jonathan Wheelbarrow, I can't remember his name, from the BBC, who has been the Southeast Asian correspondent for about 1 million years. And he, very talented, very clever man. If you have any doubts, just ask him. And he keeps on reporting about stuff happening in Thailand, Southeast Asia, and I mean that's partly my job. Is to what I sort of see myself doing is decoding what's going on, saying, look, this they've said this, but what they really mean is that, and they've said that, and this is the impact that it may have on tourists or expats. So that's sort of how I see my job. But some people say, no, you shouldn't be talking about Thai politics. You're a foreigner, nothing to do with you. And then I sort of think, well, hang on. I pay taxes here. I employ Thai people.
Live under the laws here.
Yeah, I live in a community which I contribute to with my time, with sometimes more than time, and I feel very entitled to discuss issues that then directly affect me. Yeah. Now, then there was a time when in 2021, late 2020 and 21, when they're having those protests up in Bangkok about changing the constitution and stuff, and a lot of young people were involved, which did worry the the Thai elite, and they sort of cracked down on them. One is currently spending a 22-year sentence in prison for speaking out about different issues, for having an opinion. There you go. So, but some foreigners were going to those protests and saying, well, we support you Thais, and people going, no, nothing to do with you. Now, no foreigner has been thrown out of the country for attending a protest. Plenty of foreigners being thrown out of Thailand.
For reporting on these things. Andrew Drummond.
Well, Andrew, he got kicked out, but I'm talking about people going to the protests and supporting the Thais who are at the protest. As long as they're peaceful, a foreigner is perfectly entitled to, and the Thais, the police have said, well, no, they are entitled to go there as long as they're peaceful and they're not causing any trouble. So a lot of you are going to have very strong opinions about this, but now,
you hope.
But now, ladies and gentlemen, your opinion, Steve.
Well, saying live in Thailand but don't talk about the politics, it's like saying go to the circus but don't talk about the clowns. Dude, it's the biggest show. It's wonderful. It's crazy. It's wild. It's different than it is in the United States.
Different.
It's different. These people, they do things differently. And I don't talk about American politics, at least not online. And yeah, I try to stay away from Thai politics, religion, and the monarchy online, just because I don't have any filters, and I may say something that could, if not get me in trouble with the authorities, get me in trouble with my neighbors, the one or two who watch this.
Got my finger on the delay button.
Yeah. Oh, you've had to cut stuff. That's why we don't do live. We don't do live stream, because God knows what Steve's going to say. But I think, yes, being here long term, paying taxes, obeying the laws, living under the laws, gives us a certain, and just the liberal nature of Thai society. They are very welcoming.
Just
Yeah, how
turn
do I
the brain on
phrase this?
before you open the mouth.
Well, they're very interested in our opinions. We do have to stay within certain rules.
Yes.
Right? Very hard and fast rules. But within that framework, it's a very free country. That's why a lot of people come here. And a lot of pseudo-libertarians in the comment section will tell you, I live here because back in the West, government's gotten too powerful in the individual's life, and feminism this, and wokeism that, so I live here because there's no political correctness here. You know, completely wrong.
Yes.
But that idea of freedom, of personal liberty, is still very strong here. Thailand, land of the free. And they are willing to extend that freedom to us up to a point.
Interesting, when you are in conversation with Thais, in my case, mostly Thais that speak English, that they very rarely will ask your opinion on a particular matter. But if you volunteer it, they're usually quite happy to hear it. But you just got to keep an eye on them and see how they're soaking it in. And
Yes.
sometimes if they start sort of looking away, you think, oh,
Yes.
okay, I've walked across a line. But it is a country that's different from where you're from, and you just need to be aware of the subtleties. And you never quite really learn how far you can go until you've gone too far.
Yeah. Well, they will never confront you and
No.
say, shut up. Don't talk about that. You're a Phalang, don't talk about that. But like you say, their attention will wander. If you stray into an area they're uncomfortable with, they'll change the subject. They'll say, okay, thank you very much, I have to leave now, or whatever it is. But they will start to back away from the conversation if you cross any lines. But they will never say to you, shut up, you don't have a right to speak, or you're wrong, this is where you get it wrong, the way we do. We are so incredibly confrontational in the West. Facebook is just a cesspool of fighting. And the comment section of many of these videos, it's the Roman arena. There's people out there with clubs and swords and battling each other.
That's a very good metaphor. It is like the crowing audience in the Colosseum. They're screaming for blood.
And
it's appalling.
I'm guilty of that as well. I love a debate. I love a real good, brisk, spirited debate. And if somebody can teach me something and change my mind with words, God, I respect that. But if you don't know the rules of debate and you're just the guy who likes to sling crap,
Put your finger away.
and I get this a lot because I'm really not interested in Western politics. I never ever.
But we're not
online.
exposed to it anymore.
Yeah, Facebook, particularly, some people.
But you
Mom.
can turn that off if you want.
Yes, you can turn that off, but it just, when you've been here a while, that confrontational nature is very off-putting. But I will comment on the language of a meme. I'm interested in messaging, I'm interested in communication, I'm interested in language. Spelling, the truthfulness of statements in a meme. Somebody shared a meme that said Trump is the first president to do this, first American president to do this, first American president to do this, and it was all critical. Things like the first American president to support white nationalism. Every American president before Abraham Lincoln oversaw a country where slavery was legal. Every single American president up to number 16 supported white nationalism. So you can't say he's the first American president.
Okay.
All right. So I will criticize the language like that, and then people will jump in and saying, Steve, you're a fascist, you're protecting a fascist, you're defending a fascist. I didn't say anything about Trump except that he's not the first, and this statement is literally incorrect. But people won't let you just examine something. You have to be talking about whatever the original poster was posting this thing about. So I just don't, the whole thing is toxic.
Well, yeah, and I did a video during the week about the way that news is being fed into people these days, and people are watching less of the the sort of the legacy media, you know, the sort of the 3 TV stations we used to watch at 6 o'clock with a TV dinner in front of us. You know, that's how we used to get our news.
Sure.
Or from a newspaper in the morning, we'd sort of read the first 3 pages and then just put it on the desk for somebody else to read, and then mum to wrap the kitchen scraps up and throw it in the bin. So the way we consume news now is mostly through opinionated podcasters or people who have a feeling about this side of politics or that side of politics. Agendas. And the networks, particularly this is a US phenomenon, but it is spreading to other parts of the world, where the networks are now pushing themselves to one side of the agenda or another, and getting advertisers that will support that particular point of view, the corporatization of news.
God knows it's easier and cheaper than actually producing news.
Yeah, so all you need
audience.
Is an opinion, and things like YouTube do entice you to take one side or the other, because you can get all those people coming to watch you and hear that opinion that they makes them feel nice and warm inside, rather than having to confront stories that might be inconvenient or uncomfortable, that may sort of push the pendulum one way or the other. So it's a very toxic environment. How do we get onto talking about this?
I don't know. But President Johnson said, Walter Cronkite was a broadcaster in the United States for many, many years. And at one point, Walter, in broadcasting about the war in Vietnam, Walter Cronkite did a little editorial where he said, you know, I'm starting to question our motives here in Vietnam, and what's the end strategy? Does our government have an exit policy? And President Johnson said, well, if I've lost Walter Cronkite, I've lost America, because he was that legacy media was so trusted. Now, nobody trusts anybody unless they say shit you already believe.
Yeah.
So,
what I worry about is, what is the end game to all this? Is it going to get more polarized and more toxic, if that's even possible? So you sort of got this soft civil war, particularly in the US, which is caused by the news cycle and by the people who are podcasting and broadcasting,
reporting
the news. It's not reporting anymore.
No,
it is.
But it's
propaganda.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you can get from there back to something that is reasonable and intelligent.
I agree, brother. I have no idea. I'm glad I'm not going to be around to see it. If I didn't have children living in that system, I'd be laughing at the whole thing.
There you go.
But I worry for my children and grandchildren and everybody else's children and grandchildren growing up in that cesspool of misinformation and lies and insults and just dirt. It's like the monkey house with the monkeys throwing their shit at each other. It's horrible.
You turn your computer on every day and it bang, it's just there in front of you. You open up YouTube in this case, and the Mr. Magic Machine will give you all the videos you need to watch, which are all the sort of basically backing up your particular belief anyway. And it's on both sides of politics, so it's no use saying, oh, the left of this or the right of that. Everybody is involved in this game, and it's causing a lot of problems.
And I will, one last note, it's driven by the audience. We can't just throw rocks at the media, because all the media has ever done is chase the audience. The media's job is selling soap flakes, advertising, views, clicks, engagement. And that's all the big 3 networks ever did. And when it all started was when the big 3 networks in America started requiring the news divisions. It was about 84, 85. Requiring the news divisions to turn a profit, like entertainment and sports. Those were the 3 divisions of any broadcast network. And news had always been seen as a public service and was never required to show a profit. In the mid-'80s, all 3 big American networks, all at the same time, start as if they were in collusion, all started to require their news divisions to turn a profit, and that meant chase the audience.
And I think that there are 2 turning points in that. Firstly, there was Ted Turner starting CNN, which was, he thought, well, let's actually monetize news. And it was very successful in its early days. And then I think the other one was when Roger Ailes was employed by Rupert Murdoch to head up Fox News, and he was very savvy, and they weaponized, in that case, right-wing news, and turned it into a sensation.
Yeah.
And it's a cash cow.
And then the networks, I suppose, had to follow. But it's always, my point is that if there is a solution, it has to come from the audience side. We have to stop feeding the beast. We have to stop looking at these really extreme, one side or the other, lying bastards, and try to find, there's still news outlets out there that will try hard to present an unbiased, objective news.
But so they're there in the center, but the people who are there and there don't want to watch that because they want more of this and more of that.
Because it feels good. It makes our nipples hard to see some guy on this machine
I'm
who
not sure
agrees
if it makes
with
my
us.
nipples hard. But
Yeah, well, just next time check.
Okay.
You know,
All
whether
right.
you're watching your favorite newsman go, oh, Steve was
stop
right.
it, stop it, stop it.
Steve was right. Oh my.
I'll have to cut this out. It's turning me on. So
I have that effect on people.
I had 18 other things to talk about, but we are running out of time. Let's quickly get to your book of the week.
It feels like we just started.
God, it's 51 minutes we've been yakking.
Are you?
51 minutes.
I got like
51.
15 things in Norell's
We're not going to
notebook.
get to them.
Should we do like a Wednesday show? We do a Wednesday Grumpy
Nobody
Old Man?
wants to.
Well, I'm just going to save all. Next week I'll have 30 things.
Sure, there you
My
go. We'll do
God.
a whole show about Norell's notebook. This is your book of the week. I'll hold it. You talk about it.
Now this is my author of the week. Like I said, when I came here, I got rid of everything, including whatever books I owned. Colin Cotterill is one of the best writers who has ever written about Thailand.
He's paying you
Or Laos.
to say this.
No. Colin.
You love Colin.
I love Colin. Colin does not like Steve Ross. we have a history that goes back 30 years, and apparently
Who would have thought?
Colin started his Thailand creative life as a cartoonist for the Bangkok Post. He wrote a cartoon called Man Phalang about a Phalang in Thailand. Very funny. And at that time, I was putting together a manuscript to try to sell a book. And apparently I contacted him and said, would you do a cover for me? He did. The publisher dropped out, and I never paid him for his cover, and he's been pissed at me since 1989 about
Is Colin
that.
still around?
Yes, he lives in Chumphon with a Japanese wife and about 130 rescue dogs. And
good to have 130
he's
kids.
been in Southeast Asia, God, since the 70s, and used to be a teacher in Laos. So anyway,
Tell us about the book.
This, I think, is his weakest book, but it's the one that I found in your bed and breakfast. At least it has his name on it. He wrote a series of books, detective novels, about the last forensic pathologist in Laos in 1975. The last criminal investigative pathologist in the country during the Communist Revolution, and it's magnificent. It's 5 or 6 wonderful books. The first one, called The Coroner's Lunch, one of the best books about Southeast Asia I've ever read. Beautiful writing, wonderful, witty, informative writing. And he's got some other series he did, and now he has stopped writing. He's retired. I think this is one of his latest. And why it's spelled amok instead of amok, it's the amok runners, people who run amok, and why it's spelled the Polynesian way, amok.
Whenever I write the word running amok, that's the way I spell it.
Okay, I guess Americans spell it U-C-K, but at any...
Never seen that.
Okay, well maybe I'm wrong.
But Americans can't spell English anyway.
Yeah. He is British.
That's another topic.
He is British.
Okay.
So his humor and his color have a U. But at any rate, he's a wonderful author. This is not my favorite book of his, but he's a wonderful author. Colin Cotterill. And if you just want a really great read, go find The Coroner's Lunch and the rest of that Dr. Siri series.
Sent undercover by her newspaper to sample life as an extra on a Hollywood movie being made in the region, she accompanied by her 2 brothers, Sissy and Arnie, and their Burmese friend and history professor Kin.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Terrible,
you don't have to read it now.
Terrible blurb.
Okay.
But he's a wonderful, wonderful writer. Love his stuff.
Very, very quickly, I'm sort of doing a quick digital did you know, or have you seen this before? Now, last week we spoke about those people who were doing a Beatles, the whole Beatles catalogue, one song a day, and posting it on Instagram, TikTok and YouTube. They're still going, and well done to them. A lot of people watching them. So that's good. Another interesting music project has been a group called, well, I won't name them yet, but what they decided to do was put together a cover band. I suppose a bit like last week, they're a cover band doing the Beatles. These people are a cover band, and they're doing the hits of Chicago, Earth, Wind and Fire, and a few of the Carpenter songs. Do you know much about Earth, Wind and Fire?
I loved them in the 70s. One of the few disco bands I liked.
Chicago?
Yeah. Know Chicago very well, yeah.
So what is a commonality with those two groups?
Musicality.
They all have a brass section.
Okay, yes.
Very unusual, sort of in the pop genre.
In pop genre, yes.
To have a horn section.
Yes, it is.
So this group has decided to do these covers. Of course, those songs were all recorded with 1970s and 80s sensibility and the recording technology of the time. So this cover band has re-recorded a lot of these songs relatively faithfully to those old. So really great songs from that
Do you want to mention the name of this band?
Well, they're called Leonid and Friends.
Leonard and Friends.
And they're doing songs from the Great American Songbook, and they're all from Russia and Ukraine.
Oh, ha! Russia and Ukraine.
Russia and Ukraine.
And they have come together to play American music.
Yes.
See, if anything's going to save us, you guys, it's going to be that.
There you go. So they do some really good stuff. So, what's this song?
Oh, Earth, Wind and Fire. September?
No. They do that as well.
I don't remember the name. This is the cover band.
Yeah.
Oh, sounds just like Earth, Wind and Fire.
And the female singer in the group, whose name, shut up for a moment, her name is Ksenia Buzina. Wow, she is breathtakingly beautiful. But they've got some really good singers, excellent session players. There's a string section, the whole thing. And they do really excellent covers. So Leonid and Friends, Leonid, Leonid.
Will you put a link in the description?
I'll put a link in the description. Because if you are into great American music from the 70s and the 80s, and you do have a liking or knowledge of the early days of Chicago before David Foster ruined them and made them a ballad band.
When they do Go Daddy, Go Jim Dandy by Black Oak, Arkansas, I'll listen.
They do September, and they do, anyway, all the good stuff. So that's my digital sort of recommendation of the week. If you want some really good, and turn it up loud. They do it so well. And we've got a bit of time. Let's do your top three out of Norell's notebook. We'll start off with Norell's notebook. Thank you, Norell, for sending all this through, by the way. She unwittingly became a major part of the show.
She did. Hey, Norell, how you doing?
You're about 40% of your way through the book. Norell, Christmas present on the way.
No, I have another book in the wings. Somebody else brought me a blank book. Oh, I can't remember who now, but somebody else brought me a blank book, and so I'm good. I'm good for notebooks at the moment. God, I can't.
Where do I start?
Yeah, scams in Thailand. All right,
yes.
So that you can put that in the title, and we'll get 1 billion views. Scams in Thailand. I'm suffering a scam at the moment that no other Phalang in Thailand has ever experienced. You know, I pay my neighbors a lighter for cigarette lighters retrieved off the beach.
We've got to take a photo for somebody up in Bangkok. 1, 2, 3. There we go.
Okay.
That is the worst photo of you. I'm keeping that one. All right, done our job. Anyway, so scams. You're being scammed by your neighbour.
Yeah, it sounded like I was in the middle of a sentence. But anyway,
Sorry.
so I pay my neighbors a lighter to bring me lighters off the beach. That is the brief of the project, to take trash off the beach and recycle it into something you might want to put in front of your house and look at. They have discovered that it's a lot easier to find old lighters at the dump. They go to the dump, to the landfill, and they pick up lighters. Now the lighters from the dump typically will have landfills, dumps anywhere will be greasy. People will be throwing cooking oil and motor oil into these dumps. The earth, the dirt in any dump is greasy, it's black, it's oily, and that gets inside these lighters and you can't wash it out. They're useless. Not only am I paying a baht for a piece of trash, it's a piece of trash that I cannot use in the project.
It'd be much smarter if they just jumped over the back of your back garden and stole them and then brought them round the front and resold them. And they're already cleaned.
Yes. Well, in that
great
vein,
idea.
Chamnan says, so I made this Michelin Man. I spent 2 months of my life making a life-size Michelin Man.
With all those
clear lighters.
Cigarette lighters.
Probably 2,000 or 3,000 clear lighters.
Oh.
And first monsoon, it fell apart.
Yeah.
Paper mache without cement.
Yeah.
It was embarrassing. Very public failure on my part. So I immediately got down there with Chamnan in the Samloa. We dumped this thing into the Samloa. I said to him, take it to the landfill, get it out of here. I don't want anybody to see it. Probably 5,000 baht in materials I paid for that thing, and a couple thousand lighters in 2 months of my life. It was outside for a week before it was ruined. Off it went. He says that he went back to the dump a couple weeks later, and there was evidence that somebody had been picking apart the Michelin Man and taking the lighters. And I did get a few lighters where there was recognizable mastic, my glue, on the sides of the lighters. They had got my old project, tore it apart.
They're supporting recycling, Steve.
Well, I'm supporting some people in the community to whom a baht is worth something.
Sure, and who are smarter than you, it seems.
And I have announced I'm not going to buy any more. I bought 15,000 last year, 15,000 baht for trash. I bought 15,000 in the last 2 months. And I'm telling my neighbors, that's it for this year. Come see me at monsoon next year and I'll buy more.
I go for a walk on the beach every single day. I've said this to you before. I have never seen a single cigarette lighter on the beach.
Yeah, you just ain't trying hard enough.
Well, I'm there every day.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you.
And I think to myself now, Steve collects cigarette lighters from the beach, so I'll do my little bit, and if I catch 2 or 3, I'll take them to him and we'll have a coffee and there you go. But no. I have not seen a single cigarette lighter on the beaches in Phang Muang.
Well, the part of the beach we live on is probably the most commonly searched by our neighbors for plastic water bottles, so they will have picked up all the lighters before you got there. That being said, I have had residents of your Airbnbs come by the house and leave me 4 or 5 lighters that they found on this same stretch of beach.
So I've got a bag and I give them 2 or 3 just so they can just say, you have to go to Steve and give him offerings, otherwise he won't let you in the house.
Yeah.
So that's the entry fee, is sort of a handful of old cigarette lighters. Okay, what's
Here's
this one?
one.
Do like 3 quick ones.
Oh, all right. Someone said, why is there a big piece of land in Patong that's been beach property dedicated? It's a Muslim cemetery. There should be a big damn hotel there. Why isn't this land developed? It's a Muslim cemetery. Because for hundreds of years, the land on the beach was worthless. You can't grow rice in sand. You can grow a few pineapple, maybe some coconut, that's it. So that's where the Muslims had to live.
So somebody says there's a blank block of land in Patong.
Yeah, between Patong and Kalim Bay, there's an enormous old Muslim cemetery. Google it, Google Earth it. Look at the satellite view. Big empty plot of land in Patong at the north end.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, where the road splits and one goes to town over the mountain and one goes up to Kalim Bay. Big empty piece of land there. It's a Muslim cemetery. There are Muslim cemeteries all up and down the coast because the beach land was worthless until Club Med put the first hotel in Phuket.
Sure.
And
Between
the Muslims
Patong
were forced
and Kalim.
Yeah. you're kind of
I've
bearing the lead.
driven
You're
along
not
there
focusing
1,000 times.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
It's behind a wall. You understand that?
Oh,
right?
okay. It's behind a wall.
Yeah, it's surrounded by a huge wall, like cemeteries in the United States. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, that was not there. Now,
Got to keep people out of cemeteries.
So here's the thing. I don't know how brief this is. It'll be my third thing. I want to ask the other men in our audience. I know our audience is predominantly female.
Hello, ladies.
Yes. Hey,
hello, ladies.
Thank you so much, ladies. Thank you for keeping this from being a sausage fest. But for the men, the Phalang men in the audience. Yes. So in 1997, I went home. I went to the doctor for the first time in 7 years because I had insurance, probably 17 years. And the doctor said, Steve, your blood pressure is 200 over 130. We have to put you on medication right away. He gave me a medication called spironolactone. Within 2 weeks, I had developed breasts. Gynecomastia, it's called.
Right.
I had
boobs.
2 little cupcakes.
Right.
Yeah, a 13-year-old girl's boobies growing on my chest. I went back to the doctor. I said, doctor, I'm going to stop taking this medicine. Turns out spironolactone mimics female hormones. I said, I can't be walking around with girl boobies. He said, well, that's glandular tissue. You don't exercise that away. You don't diet that away. You just have those now. I said, you got to be kidding. I don't want to walk around with boobs. He said, well, here, I'll write you a referral to plastic surgery. 2 weeks after he gave me this medication and caused this problem, his only solution is go to surgery and pay for cosmetic surgery. So I just walked around with it, and I gained so much weight in the 90s or in the 2000s in Iowa that eventually they were just hidden by fat. Here I've lost 35 pounds. They're very prominent. If I was to take off my shirt right now,
don't.
You'd go, Jesus, Steve, you've got a little 13-year-old girl's titties. Thai men, because I walk around without a shirt most of the time. I'm in my home most of the time. I rarely go anywhere. Or I'll go to the hot springs and take off my shirt. Thai men, anybody, the guy this morning who was reading the water meter to write my bill, he goes, bin bin, like it's a big joke. They just reach out unashamedly and grab my tits and go, bin bin. The delivery guy from Curry did it a couple weeks ago. Thai men, they have no compunction about drawing attention to you got man boobs. I want to ask, do any other Phalang men out there experience this? Because I assume we all walk around with a shirt. Do Thai guys come up to you and go, bin bin? Oh, and Thai women in the bars, they do the same thing. And they say, oh, your boobs are bigger than mine. Sometimes they are. But Thai people have no shame.
No filter.
No filter when it comes to men's boobs, I guess.
Okay.
Is that it?
No, I'll give you one more.
You'll give me one more.
If anybody is still watching, thank you.
Yeah.
And we really appreciate. A lot of people watch us to go to sleep. They put us on, so we are one of the best cures for insomnia on the internet.
All right, last thing. LBH, losers back home. One of the commenters said this is a common expression among young Thais.
Can I background this? Oh, yeah. We're going to get a little bit of rain.
Yeah. Imagine that PHANG in the monsoon. It's raining. Who could have figured that out?
It'll last about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So the show The White Lotus, which was series 3, filmed in Thailand.
Right.
There was a line from one of the foreigners saying, did you know that they call you guys, as in older foreign men, they call you LBH here in Thailand, which stands for
losers back home.
Over you go.
Yeah, I've never heard that expression anywhere except on The White Lotus.
I watched that and thought, oh, that's creative writing. I've never heard that before.
But one of our commenters said, oh, this is a common expression among young Thais. Is it? Why would young Thais have an English acronym as a common LBH? Wouldn't there be something in Thai that they could shorten to Obotol or whatever, Domo or whatever, that would express that? I can understand young Thais having that perception of many of us, but that expression LBH, I've never heard it anywhere except the show.
They might be thinking it.
Yeah, they might be thinking it. If you've heard that from Thais, LBH, Lobahal, maybe, I don't know. Let me know, because in 35 years, I've never heard that. That's it. I'll stop now.
Okay.
Relieved? You happy now?
We came with nothing to talk about, and there you go.
I came with all of this to talk about, and we didn't get to any of it.
All right, but all good things have to come to an end, Steve.
And this too.
Yes, even this. So I didn't have a good breakfast this morning. I can't hide it. I can't hide it. But I'll pay the bill today because you very kindly picked up the bill last week.
I didn't eat anything today, so it's your bill. And a coffee. You can buy me a coffee.
Thank you very much for dropping in.
Thank you.
Please subscribe to the channel. And the only reason I ask that is because you get this pretty much for free, except for all those pesky ads that are... but I've got to pay for his coffee.
Yeah.
So please help me by subscribing to the channel.
I drink really expensive coffee.
But we will be back again next week with another grumpy old man, Mr. Steve Ross, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thunderous round of applause.
Mr. Tim Newton, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Huzzah!
And
Huzzah.
you.
Are you not entertained?
And I've got my finger poised over the finish button as we say goodbye.
Always the wrong hand. Always.